When you save on auto insurance for driving safe with USAA Safe Pilot, you'll feel like a big deal, even in a traffic jam. Save up to 30% with USAA Safe Pilot. Restrictions apply.
The Shark Deck.
Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Scott Aukerman, you know him. He's the host of Comedy Bang Bang. He told the Wall Street Journal, I always truly thought podcasting is the future of the comedy industry. Podcasting can be transformative in terms of an audience discovering your work. It's all very surprising that it's worked out financially. That was never the point. He's out pushing Comedy Bang Bang, the podcast, the book, a coffee table book with introductions and forwards by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Weird Al, and Patton Oswalt. Nearly 40 comedians, including Andy Samberg and Paul F. Tompkins, have bits in the book. One of the topics, simple exercises you can do at home with machetes. Joe Rogan was on Instagram. He showed off the latest addition to his comedy club. It's a coffee table with a 3D anaconda carved into it. Sure, why not? In the caption, Rogan said, one of the coolest things about the internet is being able to discover amazing artists. Scott Dow created this insane coffee table for us for the Comedy Mothership Green Room. I effing love it. The laugh button caught up with Big Jay Oakerson, the topic, writing his latest special, and he said quarantine happened. And then what happened was I never really write any jokes down. I never watch myself or film it or anything, but I work so much that I always have it ready to go, and how it goes. I didn't even think about how those 3 months of nothing, no stand-up would affect that. So when I came back, I kind of had to learn it all over again, which was its own interesting process. And then the temperature of everything changed. Quarantine, Me Too stuff, and Black Lives Matter happened. And essentially Netflix and all those companies were like, oh, an unknown straight white guy? Good luck with that. The door wasn't really open anymore, at least anytime soon, so I got dejected by that, and I thought, damn, nobody wants to do this at all. Then Ari Shaffir suggested I do it myself. I was going to do it in Philly at the TLA, but they priced me out. It was too expensive. It would have added almost 6 figures onto the special cost already, which is all mine. So then I was dejected and thinking, I can't even do it in Philly the way I want to do it. Then Dave Attell suggested doing it at Skankfest. One of the interesting things is we did it in the afternoon. It was 2 shows in the afternoon we shot versus the nighttime for a lot of reasons, scheduling and all kinds of things like that. If I was doing it just for laughs or Moontower or something like that, I don't know if we would feel the same festival energy from our festival because it was just diehards. All right, Big Jay Oakerson, what's the reaction so far about your special? And he says, you know what's funny? Anything else I've ever done, whether it's Comedy Central or Netflix or somewhere else, your only feedback of how many people are seeing it is through a loose idea of how many Instagram followers you pick up and comments from people you already have. You kind of get a gauge that it's doing well or people are watching it for a while. YouTube is interesting because it tells you every single person that watches it, it's doing well right now, over 500,000 in a day and a half. I think that's a good trajectory. Yeah, man, congrats. Jay said, I've done all the press I can to support it. I've had a big hand in editing it and all that stuff. It was so difficult to keep watching and enjoying and hoping it's good. So it's great now that it's out there and you see the good feedback, because at the time I was done, I was like, this thing is a piece of stuff, because I had seen it 7,000 times. Next week, Carol Burnett turns 90. We're going to start seeing a lot of Carol Burnett press. Related to that, Bill Hader told a story. So before I tell you the story, Bill Hader is motivated to promote Barry Season 4. Carol Burnett, who's turning 90, is motivated to promote the Carol Burnett special on, I think it's on NBC next week. So when I read this story and it happens to come out now, I'm like, yep, right, yep, right. As the story goes, Carol Burnett was on that PBS show Finding Your Roots, and Bill Hader said, Carol Burnett emailed me. She emailed me and said, hey, we're related. And I went, what? And Johnny Mac said, wow, Carol Burnett, who's promoting a new special, is related to Bill Hader, who's promoting season 4 of Barry? That's weird, Bill Hader said. I told my kids, I'm like, we're related to Miss Hannigan. They were like, ah. Hader said, we've been texting and emailing and stuff, so it's been really exciting. I hope I can, have dinner with her. Pete Davidson also making the rounds. He's got a new sitcom, so suddenly he's answering big questions. You can listen to yesterday's episode for that answer. Vulture says Bupkus seems like Pete Davidson's version of a Zach Braff movie. A little artsy, a lot self-reflective, people shouting at the heavens, crying, hugging, and sticking their heads out of a sunroof. The trailer opens with Pete Davidson saying, I Googled myself, and scrolling through some real not-so-nice things that have been said on the internet about him. He tries to get wisdom from older people he respects, like Joe Pesci and Bobby Cannavale. He gets roasted by other older people he respects. Dave Attell says, Davidson, I've got a weekend update for you. You suck. A girl in a car tells him, you run away from people who love you, and rain falls outside. Pete said he picked Bupkus because it's Yiddish for goose egg zilch nada, and he says the word looks cool like on a t-shirt. Bupkus will be out on Peacock May 4th. The cast, Pete Davidson, Edie Falco plays his mom, Joe Pesci plays his dad. Guest stars include Charlie Day, Chase Sweet Wonders, Simon Rex, Kenan Thompson, and Ray Romano and Brad Garrett. Going to be talking about them a lot in the upcoming days. The Guardian caught up with Ben Schwartz. He started out as a dog's body at the Upright Citizens Brigade, paying with his labor for access to the work of Amy Poehler and company. I am unfamiliar with the term dog's body. Apparently, it is a British term for a person who's given boring, menial tasks to do. Well, that makes sense. Originally in the British Royal Navy, a dog's body was a semi-sarcastic colloquialism for a junior officer or midshipman. Ben Schwartz told The Guardian, since the beginning, I'm always like, I'm going to find a way to do this. I tried everything. I freelanced writing for David Letterman. I freelanced for SNL. I did commercials. I tried stand-up. I tried everything, hoping something would stick and I could be in the industry I loved. At age 29, he got Parks and Rec. But that did not break his bond with improv. He says, anytime I tell people I do improv, their only reference is their friends' class shows at college, and my class shows were horrific. I didn't know what I was doing. So I think people's perception is based on watching performers starting out who haven't put the hours in. They have nothing to point to, like a special from anybody to say, look how good this could be. Fortune Feemster talked to AL.com, AL as in Alabama. No, it's not my friend Al's website. It's an Alabama news site. Fortune says, I'm in that weird exact space between millennial and Gen X. I don't even know what the word is. I feel like everything has a word. I'm not like a full Gen Xer, and I'm definitely not a full millennial, so we have a little bit to draw from. In her youth, she was a misfit Southern tomboy. She came out as a lesbian at age 25. She said, be quite a few years before I realized I was gay, which is bonkers, because I've had this haircut since I was 5 years old. My hair knew I was gay. I didn't. She's got an upcoming project with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who did you think I was going to say? It's called Fubar. That'll be on Netflix May 25th. It's an 8-episode TV series. Fortune plays a CIA agent. That's unexpected. And hey, Bill Lawrence, why don't you reboot Scrubs? Come on, man. Let's do it. Haven't you come close to rebooting Scrubs? Bill Lawrence said. Yeah, a bunch. Here's the thing. Everybody on that show is killing it today. Now, time out. Is that true? Because JD and Turk are doing a podcast. The podcast does well, and they're in like one commercial with John Travolta. Are they killing it? What's Sarah Chalk up to? We're not making any Rick and Mortys anytime soon. Judy Reyes did 3 seasons on Devious Maids. Neil Flynn, the janitor, well, he's probably got crazy sitcom money now, but I'm sure he would do it. He likes to work. And you would need Dr. Cox, John C. McGinley. What's McGinley up to? Well, I'm Googling him, and his biggest credit is Scrubs, so he hasn't done too much since 2010. Bill Lawrence, I respectfully disagree. They're not killing it. I think they'll take your call, Bill said. Here's the thing, everybody on the show's killing it. Well discussed. So I think we'd all have to have the excuse to spend time with each other, but no one's in dire need of work, and we see each other anyway. If we ever come up with an idea that would be fun to revisit, we'll do it just for the hang of it. But I reached a point on that show, and maybe I stayed too long, but by the 6th year, the writers would be like, what should Dr. Cox's rant be? And I'm like, why does he have to be mad every week? Who cares what he's mad at? My God. So nostalgically, it'd be fun to revisit, but the idea of doing it as a series is a bit of a bummer to me. Dudes, get that thing on the air now. If you like what I do here, go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews, because you hear this coffee is now 28 hours old. John, did you record Wednesday's podcast early because you had to actually work on Tuesday? No. What makes you think that? I just have had this coffee sitting around for a day and a half, and it's not really cold anymore. So if you'd like to buy me a coffee, go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. Throw $5 in the tip jar. I'll take your money. I will go to the National Donuts chain. I'll use the app. I won't even talk to any humans, and I'll just grab my cup and get back in my car. Don't forget, if we get to $100, I'll say nice things about Adam Sandler. Details at buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. Let's see who's at the festivals. Got my bookmarks open. It's like I recorded 2 episodes back to back, you know? Today, of course, is Wednesday at Nashville. Dusty Slay's Grand Ole Comedy Show. Zany's 6 o'clock. I would absolutely be there. Poor Dusty, though, because at 6:30, it's the Zany's 40th Anniversary Comedy All-Stars, but that's at the Ryman. So all the All-Stars went over to the Ryman and you left Dusty Slay there? I would go see Dusty Slay. Who's on the All-Stars, John? I don't know. The website won't tell me. 7 o'clock, Giggly Squad with Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbos at the War Memorial Auditorium. Leanne Morgan, 7:30 at the Opry House. Big Jay Oakerson and Robert Kelly. Zany's, 9:15. All right, that's pretty easy. We go to Zany's. We see Dusty Slay. We grab a beer or whatever, and we just stay at Zany's and see Big J and Bobby Kelly. All right, that works. Meanwhile, on a Wednesday night in Austin, 6 o'clock show at the Creek and the Cave is called Cheers Queers. Brandy Davis, Guy Branum, Ashley Gavin, Molly Kearney, Alex English, Liza Traeger, and some others. That sounds fun. 7 o'clock at the Stateside Theater, Maria Bamford. 7 o'clock at the Paramount, Howie Mandel. 7 o'clock, Stars in Bars at Antone's. Dulce Sloan, Adam Ray, Jeremiah Watkins, Tone Bell, Brad Williams, and some others. That's a good show. Moontower has kicked in big time, huh? Parker Jazz Club, 7 o'clock. The Hit List, Mike Vecchione, Molly Kearney again, Devin Walker, John Rudnitsky. He's really funny. Remember, he was on Saturday Night Live for about 8 minutes, but he's funny. Home base at 7:30, a bunch of names I don't recognize. I skipped down a bunch. Stateside Theater, 9:30, Brad Williams. Yeah, all right. If we were in Austin tonight, I would say we do, I feel like you could see Bamford all the time. Let's do Howie Mandel at 7, Brad Williams at 9:30. How's that sound? And let's see what's going on at Melbourne. Jeff Green's show is called Back to My Roots. The Herald Sun says, one of the greats of pure laugh-out-loud comedy. All right, let's listen.
Lovely to be in the beautiful city of Melbourne with your trams and your bipolar weather. Because I love the anomalies of Australia. Because Australia's a dichotomy. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive when you say it. Australia's a dichotomy. What do you mean? I'm leaving now. No, tell us what you mean. Because you're lovely, warm-hearted, kind people. Then you get into your cars, you become fire-breathing, psychopathic maniacs, don't you? I'm terrified driving in Australia. My friend says in Germany, they drive as fast as they want on the Autobahn. We should have that in Australia. I said, no, we shouldn't. You see, the Germans drive very expensive cars with robotic precision. That's how it works. In Australia, you're descended from Anglos and Celts, with a few Asians and Mediterraneans thrown in. The consequences of which, the roads are a cauldron of chaos.
Not bad, right? Solid enough. Nothing remarkable there, but that's fun. Alex Ward's show is called Saving for a Jetpack. The description, no children, no house, no problems. The Age said, Ward's trajectory is spiraling vertically. That's a fascinating description. Okay, Alex Ward, what do you got for us?
I was walking down the street the other day and this lady passed me. She was wearing a rainbow badge and on it said ally. I had two thoughts. The first was, well, that's nice. But then I had a second, way louder thought, which was, wow, she really wants everyone to know she's not the gay one. Because if she wanted to be supportive, she could have just had the rainbow. Instead, she's made sure she's got the one that says ally, so she could be like, yeah, good on them, but not me, I'm not one of them. Friend of. No, but I'm part of the queer community. We need the support, so please get a badge. Get one. Although I have never seen that badge for sale. Like, I think she made that badge. And you're going to have to make one too. Just buy the rainbow one and get a marker and you can just write on it, ally, or something else more fun that means the same thing, like no homo. It'll also work.
All right, so was that the funniest minute you've ever heard? No. I loved her, though. I was totally in on that story, and I want to watch the rest of the clip. I was really entertained. So I'm a bit of a comedy snob here. And this is when you get into the people who come out and just knock down pins within 5 seconds with something a little shocking. I found her to be a good storyteller. That's Alex Ward. I'm very interested there. I liked that first minute a lot. That's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. See you tomorrow. Can I interest you in some meatballs made out of mammoth meat? No? All right, hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. It's a twice-a-week podcast where I share some upbeat stories like the dog who only will respond to commands if you use an Irish brogue. Or what about the guy who's filling potholes with noodles? Or the woman who, congratulations, she passed her driver's license. Oh, by the way, it was her 960th try. You heard me correctly. It's 5 Good News Stories. Nice, easy way to start your morning. 5 Good News Stories. The number 5 Good News Stories, wherever you get your podcasts.